Hello my friends and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. A little update from Ukraine, and the first topic is the Russians Iskander missiles, I think two of them, destroyed another training unit in Ukraine. These guys are just getting them before they even get to the front. The second topic, we have the Russians advancing and capturing more territory in Ukraine. Two villages in Dnipropetrovsk and Zaporizhzhia Oblast and advance towards three more. But hey, according to Trump, NATO will help Ukraine get its territories back, the word is back, and its as well, and much more. Then the next one, guess what happened at the United Nations? Ukraine, European Union, plus 36 states demand Russia face accountability at the United Nations. I'm going to show you how these things are, how these pieces of information mean almost nothing, and it's a hypocritical number. European Union has like what, 27 states or something, 36 states plus Ukraine, you get the usual suspects of about 60. Those are the vassal states, 60. I have to remind you, at the United Nations there are registered about 193 countries. So these are, let's say, 60 out of 193. Do you know how many countries recognize Palestine? And you know how many countries recognize Israel? Well, Palestine is about 150 and Israel 167 out of 193. So if we have 150 almost recognizing the state of Israel, you come with 50 or 60 states demanding something. Solve that thing first and then you go to Ukraine, but they won't, so beat me. And then the last topic, Europe lacks capabilities to detect drones. No shit, the United States of America also lacks capabilities to detect drones. And if you remember the Copenhagen airport incident with a big drone showing up, remember the Russians violating again NATO's airspace? Do you know that one? Do you remember that one? It happened yesterday. And they said, well, it was the Russians again violating. Well, it's not a Russian drone. It was not a Russian plane. It was their own. So these guys are not only not having the technology, they don't have the brains. I think the guys in Denmark have the same thing with diversity is our strength. Therefore, they have the diversity hires who know shit. All right, you have to lower the standards so you can be inclusive, if you know what I mean. Like the US universities, lower the standards, everyone will have a college degree. Is that a college degree? More like a high school degree. Talk to one and find out. I'm talking about a graduated, an alumni. All right, I've been through their system. I know the level. Let's move on. First topic. Here it is. Russia hit ground forces training unit with ballistic missiles, plural, resulting in casualties among personnel. Wednesday, the 24th of September 2025. Russian forces carried out an attack, including with two Iskander ballistic missiles on training unit of the Ukrainian ground forces of the 24th of September. Casualties among personnel. And they don't tell us where it is. I saw some pictures, something about Odessa, but hey, what do I know? The point is, the Russians have been doing this for some time already. They, as they say, will destroy Ukraine's capability to wage war, not by destroying their, I don't know, Western backers, but unfortunately the mercenaries, the volunteers, the poor guys who are taken from Ukraine's streets to go and fight for other interests than Ukraine. That's the situation. All right, let's go to the second topic. Russians captured two villages in Dnipropetrovsk Oblast and Zaporizhzhia Oblast, according to DeepState. Now, DeepState is an Ukrainian media, or not a media, it's just a think tank that looks over DeepState, a Ukrainian group of military analysts. So this is Ukrainians saying that, it's not the Russians. So first, let's go and see where that is in Zaporizhzhia and Dnipropetrovsk. It happens right here. So this is Ukraine. Right, this is the line of contact. Zaporizhzhia is right here. Dnipropetrovsk is right here. north of Zaporizhzhia, and here is Donetsk. So they are talking about exactly here in this area where the oblasts meet. Donetsk, Dnipropetrovsk, Zaporizhzhia. This is where the Russians are advancing and capturing villages. I'm going to show you. Russian forces have occupied the villages of Novomykolaivka in Dnipropetrovsk Oblast and Novoivanivka in Zaporizhzhia Oblast, and also advanced near 3 settlements. DeepState Anal, right there, East, reported on 24 September. And here is the location, as I indicated. Right there is where these 3 little things are converging. Zaporizhzhia, Dnipropetrovsk, Donetsk. Or if you want, and if you don't want, I will show you here. This is what they're talking about. And I'm going to go straight to DeepState site right there. And this is what they're talking about. Right there is the little thing. This is the little thing. The Russians are advancing. Right here is the 2 villages they are talking about. Novoivonmapa, Novomaka, Pokamaka. Here it is. Now, in the big scheme of things, the location is, I don't like this map much. I'm going to go to this one. It's clearer. It's right in the center, in there. This is according to the Ukrainians, not with the Russians. All right. And remember, Trump said that Ukraine could recapture or liberate its territories and even much more. And the Russians answered to that like Donald Trump must be fed some delusional, they said, alternative reality information that he can come and claim that. Well, I don't know. The point is the Americans and NATO, European Union, will put together all their profiteers to make some money with the Ukrainian blood. That's the whole point here that I don't like a bit. So let's go and see how these guys are condemning and demand Russia face accountability. Here it is. I will tell you about the accountability. New Voice of Ukraine. Ukraine, European Union, and 36 states demand Russia face accountability at United Nations. Okay, European Union. 27 countries, right? 27, 37, 47, 57, right? 63, 64. 64 states demand out of 193. Well, that's a size of about a third, 1/3 of the United Nations General Assembly body, however you want to call it. But let's bring back Palestine. Palestine is recognized as of now by more than 140 countries. I don't know exactly how it is. I don't want to be, it's something now because they all start recognizing in Europe. Canada, France, Russia is thinking, it's going to be at one point only Israel and United States of America and a few jackal states that will not recognize Palestine. But that means nothing without action. You can recognize whatever you want. Man, I recognize, man, you are the boss of me. But when you order me something, I will not do anything. So I can call you whatever you want. General, you want me to call you? Emperor with no power? It doesn't matter the title. The title just reflects the power. The power to impose something or to order. They have no power. Tomorrow there could be 191 countries out of 193 recognizing Palestine. So, they will not do anything. Nothing. Why? The guys in charge disagree with that. So when they tell me about, remember, there's 60 states, about 60. Let's say, you got some others. They are the vassal states of the US. That's all. That is all. Now, I'm not saying that everybody on the other side is right or, the majority is right. I never claim democracy in truth. That is, hey, what are you talking about, Emil? We all know, and we look at us. You're one and we are the rest. We must be right. I always disagree with that. Why? Because I have the example of Galileo Galilei, for instance, or Giordano Bruno, if you want. But Galileo Galilei, remember when he said that actually the Euclid version of Euclidean version of the world, the cosmos goes around the earth, the one that the Bible liked, because it's okay. It's wrong. It's actually no. It's in our place here is we revolve around the the sun is not the sun and every other planet revolve around the earth. He was kind of alone against all these zealots, fanatics, and they wanted to burn him on a stake. Giordano Bruno was burned on a stake for his truth. He was alone in front of all these guys. So that's a good example for you. Don't be afraid to state the truth. And forget about Solomon Asch experiment, the peer pressure experiment. Go and look into it. When everybody else was under, the understanding that, hey, we're going to say that the long line is shorter and the shorter line is longer, and you're over there and you clearly see the study was about showing two lines or something, one longer and one shorter, and everybody else were in the study. They were supposed to say that the longer one actually is shorter than the shorter one. And the first one, and you're like, I clearly see that the longer one is longer, accurately, but everybody said it's the other way around. So a lot of people caved to the peer pressure and they said, yeah, no, that's actually the little one that they clearly see is the little one. Is the longer one. So this is peer pressure. This is what's going on here. People are cowards. People are afraid. They question themselves. They're afraid of the consequences. They want to be on the winner's side, regardless what you win, a beating or something. So the same here. It doesn't mean that if you have 60 over there, they're not right. I'm not saying that, but I know they're wrong. And why are they wrong? Because that's not fair. You have to be consistent in your fairness. You want me now to accept that 60 states, 63, whatever they are, they demand Russia face accountability. But how about Israel? And all of a sudden, we all lose all track of fairness or a sense of fairness, of accountability, of truth. Well, when we're going to treat every situation equally, then I will give it to you. Right now, I do not want to give it to you. I know there should be accountability for the West as well, but they don't talk about it. And I guarantee you, if tomorrow they go and start voting about NATO's accountability, I guarantee you they will muster more than 63 states. Probably they will get about 100 and minus the 60. So we'll get about 100 and, well, let's say 40 or 30. They will say NATO is this and we demand accountability for Yugoslavia bombardment, the destruction of Iraq, the destruction of Afghanistan, the destruction of Libya, the destruction of Syria, now the attempt to destroy Iran, all these things. Where's the accountability? Zero. So how about we start with that one and then we get to 2022? We can go to 1999 or even 1991 with Iraq. Can we do that? No, we don't. Why? Therefore, when you want me to be honest and fair with you, when you're a piece of shit with everything else, I won't. I will say no. Let's go back chronologically and gather all these guys like Bill Clinton, Sir Tony Blair, George W. Bush, Bill Clinton, I said it again, what's his name, Obama, Biden, all these guys, Hillary Clinton, you get them all. You get them all and you put them on trial. And then we get to others. We go to Zelensky. We get to Putin eventually in 2022. But don't make me, hey, Emil, you got to be fair about that one. But here, let's ignore it. So I don't give a piece of shit. I acknowledge that should be accountability on all sides. Like, Black Lives Matter. All lives matter. Oh, my God. No. You don't understand. Shut your pie hole. All right, so 27 members, European Union. And let's see the Europeans, again, claiming that, remember, it must have been a big Russian drone in Copenhagen, right? And here, Europe lacks capabilities to detect drones. European Union defense chief. So what they want to do, actually, they want to get the profiteers fatter. That is, we need weapons, man. We need air defense systems to detect the drones. Well, let me tell you this, and I said this many times before. When, not if, when the bad actors in the world, in this case in Europe, Canada, United States of America, Australia, for instance, they will start using drones to settle scores with the authorities or the politicians using, drones with little grenades underneath, like in Ukraine, or they will use, how do you call those? Javelins provided by the Americans to the Ukrainians, and via they end up through the southern border into the United States of America, and then we'll use that to, hit a few helicopters or airplanes taking off or landing with those javelins, or just with drones. You have drones, you use the fiber optic drones, and you're good to go. 20 miles distance. You can remote send it 20 miles, nobody can interfere with it. You got it? When they're gonna do this, guess who they're gonna blame? Putin. So you can arm yourself how much you want, which I'm not saying you should not. The baboons need to feel protected. That's what it is. When they do certain things, they don't do it because we're going to put that iron dome or the golden dome or the shit drone or something. When dome, when Trump said we're going to have the golden shower dome over United States of America and we're going to protect you against everybody. Do you think so? Do you think that's going to be impenetrable? No, they say that to keep the population, the feeble strata of the population, go to work and don't panic. That's why they say it. We know that these guys can do what the hell ever they want. What the hell ever they want. I'm not certain there's not a nuclear bomb somewhere in New York City in a basement somewhere put together, an atomic bomb, not a nuclear, an atomic bomb. Like, I don't know, the fat boy Churchill atomic bomb from the Second World War. Could be very easily. It's just like this big. That's it. That's all you need. The nucleum. Okay, that's all you need, my friends. So they don't have it. Yeah, therefore get those arms manufacturing companies fatter. And then you have Copenhagen. Police may have mistaken a training plane for a drone. So it's not only, remember when in 1999 the NATO, the smart NATO used smart bombs. Remember smart bombs, guided and GPS. All right. It's not only that, who operates them. You have to put coordinates in. You have to give the order. You have to give the location. So that is human brain. So you can have a monkey with a AK. He's not going to fight for you because that's how he's going to fight. Okay? Therefore, you have idiots in charge of smart weapons. He's not going to cut it. He's not going to do it, my friends. The same here. It's a, let's read the radar. Oh, that's a drone, a massive drone. Motherfucker, can you see it's an airplane? And how, you didn't know it was a training plane? A training plane, when it comes towards an airport, including the one with towers, you have to report, hey, my name is Tom Jones, my coordinate is this, my direction is that. You have to do that. If you don't do that, you may be, I don't know, boom, boom. Or not. So anyway, it matters who interprets that. Or it was an order to make the hysteria of Russian drones and Russian airplanes violating NATO, not Denmark, so whatever, NATO's airspace. Why? So we can make you go to work, shut the hell up, infringe your liberties, and maybe send your children to fight the Russians, because the Russians are bad and we in charge have nothing to do with the situation, will protect you. My friends, these are criminals. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Yeah, they lack it. They will lack it, even if they come and tell you we covered this and we're good to go. All right. Thank you very much for being with me again today. You can't defend each and every target. So when these guys report on the Russians, oh, the Ukrainians hit 2 more helicopters, oh, they attacked that oil pump, or that, I don't know, tanker, or you can't defend everything from everything, but they make it sound like, oh, the Russians are so are the Americans. Do you think tomorrow I want you to go, I don't want you to go? All right, let's not go with scenarios, because these guys, as I mentioned, with the smart bombs or smart weapons, they are imbeciles. They look, and even if you say it's way above their pay rate, and they will not get it, and they will put it in a different section, like the Emula said this. That's not what I said, motherfucker. But they can. They have the limitation. They cannot penetrate to go on the other side to realize, that's what the imbecile meant. They don't have that ability. They will say, ooh, click. The same with the smart bombs. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just.